Hello everyone. In the last session from chapter number 6, we have seen telemetry tracking and command system. In this session, we will cover what do you mean by transponder and wideband receiver. Now, first of all, what do you mean by transponder? As transponder means a satellite which contains a receiver, which can pick up the transmitted signal, amplifies it, and translate it to the another frequency. That means from session number 1, we have seen that there are two types of satellite, active and passive. Passive satellite means it will receive the signal and simply reflect back to the earth station, right? But active satellite means it receives the signal, amplifies it, and again retransmit back to the earth station. That's why a satellite which contains a receiver which can pick up the transmitted signal, amplifies it, and it translates it to the another frequency, right? But typical transponder has a wide bandwidth, but it uses only a single signal to minimize the interference or specific frequency. Okay, why? Because to improve the communication as well as to reduce the interference, and it also increases the reliability of communication. Now, there are actually two types of transponder: single conversion and double conversion. Now, what do you mean by single conversion? Single conversion means there is only a one mixture and one LO. That means local oscillator. That means the frequency is either can be up converted or down converted. If it is single time, then it is called a single conversion, and if it is double times, then it is called double conversion. All right, over here the frequency conversion is done only a single time. That's why it is called a single conversion transponder, right? In this block diagram, we can see that receiving antenna, a low noise amplifier, mixture, local oscillator, power amplifier, and transmitting antenna. So you can see over here that a transponder receives the signal, amplify it, convert it to a specific frequency, and then again it retransmit back. All right, so over here, as we have seen in the super heterodyne receiver, it contains RF amplifier, mixture, and LO. All right, so over here you can see that mixture and LO is used for frequency conversion, as we can increase the frequency or we can decrease the frequency. So first of all, the receiving antenna will receive the signal, then it is going to be amplified by a low noise amplifier. What it will do? It will reduce the effect of noise and improve the signal to noise ratio. All right. Then that signal is going to be applied to the one of the input of mixture, and the second input is coming from the local oscillator. What is the function of local oscillator? It will generate a specific frequency. Over here, a 2 gigahertz, continuous 2 gigahertz frequency is going to be generated by local oscillator. All right. So mixture will do the down conversion. That means down conversion means subtraction of these two frequency. One of the input frequency and second one is the LO frequency. And that subtraction frequency is going to be amplified with the help of power amplifier. That amplified signal is going to be transmitted through transmitting antenna. Okay. So this is the block diagram of transponder that we have seen over here. but our input band limiting device is a band pass filter. Why? Because we are going to only use a specific band. We are not going to amplify the every frequency of signal. And the input low noise amplifier just designed to amplify the signals received from the earth station. Now, as I have told you earlier, that frequency translator that is composed of an oscillator and frequency mixture, which is used to convert the frequency of received signal, either up conversion or down conversion. And at the output, again band pass filter is used because a receiver is only going to receive the signal of specific band or a specific frequency, right? And the power amplifier is going to amplify the signal, but that signal has a higher frequency range in terms of gigahertz, because you can see from over here that our LO is 2 gigahertz. So it is noticeable that our this input frequency is also in the gigahertz. So we have to make sure that our amplifier should amplify the signal having a higher frequency range in terms of gigahertz. That's why we have to use a microwave amplifier. One of the amplifier that can be used is a traveling wave tube or solid state amplifier. All right. So that uplink signal to the satellite is 6 gigahertz and it is received at the satellite and then amplified using the low noise amplifier. You can see over here that if my signal frequency is 6 gigahertz and that 6 gigahertz signal is going to be amplified with the help of low noise amplifier, and now it is going to be applied to the mixture. Then we have to do a subtraction. Subtraction is done with the help of mixture. Mixture is not going to mix a two frequency. It will either increase the frequency or decrease the frequency, either using a up conversion or down conversion, right? So if it's going to decrease the frequency, then it will going to subtract the two frequencies. For example, 6 gigahertz is coming from over here and 2 gigahertz is coming from over here. So my output frequency is 4 gigahertz, 6 minus 2, 4 gigahertz. And that 4 gigahertz frequency is going to be amplified using a power amplifier. It can be a traveling wave tube amplifier, right? So my 6 gigahertz frequency is down converted to a 4 gigahertz. Why it is down converted? Because frequency is going to be decrease. And that 4 gigahertz signal is going to be amplified with the help of traveling wave tube. So the local oscillator frequency, as we have seen, the down converter is 2225 megahertz, approximately 2 gigahertz for C band. And that signal is going to be retransmitted at each, or you can say, earth station. Okay. Now, how many number of transponder channels are there? Over here, the received signal that is having a frequency range is 5.9252 to 6.425 gigahertz. That signal is going to be passed through band pass filter, because we need only a specific band of the signal. See over here, the symbol is given, band pass filter. If the symbol is given like this, there is a cut in band as well as higher frequency, then it is called the low pass filter. If I want to draw a band pass filter, then I have to draw it like this. Band pass filter is like this. Only band is going to be passed. Low frequencies, high frequencies are not going to pass. If I'm going to draw the for high frequency high pass filter, then this band is going to be rejected and low frequencies are also going to be rejected. Then it is called the high pass frequency filter. It allows only a high frequency to pass through it. Okay, and if we are going to represent the symbol of band stop, then we have to draw like this one. Only a center portion is going to be cut. Higher and low frequency both are going to be transmitted. Then that signal is going to apply to the wideband receiver. There are total, and that wideband receiver will generate a signal of 3.7 to 4.2 gigahertz. It is applied to the demultiplexer is having a 12 channels, and that individual frequencies are going to be applied to the amplifier which is having a specific gain. All right, and that signal is going to be multiplexed through output multiplexer, and it is going to be transmitted through a transmitting antenna. Now what do you mean by wideband receiver? A wideband receiver means over here we can see we have a preamplifier block, mixer, LO, and amplifier. Upper portion is a redundant receiver. This receiver is going to be selected only if there is any deficiency in this receiver. Okay, but if any of the block of this receiver is not working, then this switch is going to be connected to this redundant receiver. Okay, now that signal is going to be receiver signal is going to be applied to the preamplifier. Preamplifier will amplify the signal. It is then applied to the mixture and LO. LO frequency is going to be applied to mixture. My input is pre-amplified with the help of pre-amplifier and given to the mixture. And then it is going to again amplify with the help of amplifier, and it is now given to the input demultiplexer. See over here, this wideband receiver is having a detailed block diagram like this. Input from filter. This is input from filter. This wideband receiver is having a detailed block diagram, and then its output is going to be given to the input of demultiplexer like this. Input of demultiplexer. Okay. So first stage was LNA, which amplifier. That amplifier adds little noise to the carrier, which is going to be amplified. At the same time, it provides sufficient amplification for the carrier. And mixer stage, which requires a LO, that means a local oscillator. Why? Because we are going to do a frequency conversion, either up conversion or down conversion. Now, so the power drive from the LO to the mixer is about 10 dBm, decibel per milliwatt. Okay, so the oscillator frequency must be highly stable. Why? Because the function of LO is to generate a stable frequency. And the second amplifier provides the overall receiver gain of 60 dB. Now, what is the function of input demultiplexer? Input demultiplexer separates the broadband input, covering the frequency range of 3.7 to 4.2 gigahertz. Why? Because channels are usually arranged in an even and odd number of groups to reduce the adjacent channel interference. So the output from receiver is fed to the power splitter, which again feeds the two separate chain of circulator. The function of circulator is only to circulate the power from one port to another port. Okay, and the full broadband signal is transmitted along each chain in such a way that channelizing is achieved by a means of channel filter which is connected to each circulator. Now, what is the function of power amplifier? The power amplifier is needed. Why? Because we have to transmit the signal to the longer distance, and as a signal travels to the longer distance, its signal quality is going to be degraded. That's why a separate power amplifier that can amplify my signal at higher frequency. So we have to use a traveling wave tube amplifier, that is a microwave amplifier, okay, which provides the output power for each transponder channel. So each power amplifier is preceded by an input attenuator to permit the input drive to each power amplifier to achieve a desired level. Okay, this is the microwave amplifier, that is a traveling wave tube amplifier, is called in short TWTA, that you will study in microwave subject. How my microwave signal or higher frequency signal in gigahertz is going to be amplified. So this is the structure of traveling wave tube. Why it is called traveling wave tube? Because a wave is going to be travel through this tube and it is going to be amplified with the help of this structure. Okay, this is a transparent transponder. This is my transmitting earth station, this is receiving earth station, and this is satellite repeater. My uplink signal, that is from the transmitting earth station to the satellite, is going to be transmitted. Downlink means from satellite to receiving earth station. It contains, satellite repeater contains input filter, low noise amplifier, then down converter, same way, input multiplexer, power amplifier, the output multiplexer, and that signal is going to be transmitted with the help of transmitting antenna. So satellite repeater contains receiving antenna and transmitting antenna. Okay, this is called a transparent transponder. This is called a regenerative transponder. Why? Because over here, transmitting, receiving antennas are there, LNA is there, mixer and LO is there. But over here, demodulation and modulation is there. So your signal is going to be regenerated with the help of carrier generation as well as a modulation. Apart from that, one block is going to be added. It is called the high power amplifier. That high power amplifier is going to amplify the signal, and your signal is going to be passed through band pass filter, and then it is going to be transmitted with the help of transmitting antenna to the receiving earth station. All right. So this is called the regenerative transponder. So over here, chapter number 6, that is the space segment, is finished. These are the references which I have used. If you have any question, you can ask me at any time on my this email ID. Thank you for your attention.